Hello guys and welcome to Painting Panzers. My name's Christian and today we've got something that you guys have been asking for a hell of a long time. It's the 172 Italeri Tropical Paratrooper or German Paratrooper, Fallschirmjäger, whatever you want to say. This has been a interesting video. I've had to use, or steal I should say, some paint ideas from my friend James Viola, which we'll discuss in just a short while. But yeah, absolutely interesting video in terms of how I've changed the scheme slightly from what I've done previously. So do let me know in the comment section if you find this video useful and if you agree with those paint schemes. But enough of all of this rambling, let's get into the video. Now, as I've already mentioned, this is a box set from Italeri. This is the German Fallschirmjäger or paratroopers in tropical uniform, so perfect for the Mediterranean, but in all honesty nothing changes. I don't know why they've called it the tropical uniform because there's nothing here that screams tropical. They can be used definitely for Normandy as well. Now, to start off with, I'm going to be priming my model in Tamiya Surface Primer Light Grey, and then I'm going to be painting the Splinter base colour in light mud. Now, it's a really good base colour for a Splinter pattern because it is that sort of creamy grey colour, which works really well. There was obviously different variants of Splinter, but I think this is just going to work great for the Splinter pattern that I'm going for. You can use a bit more of a yellowy colour as well, but maybe we'll cover that in another video. And once that's done, because this guy is going to be a tropical paratrooper, I'm going to paint the tropical parts of his uniform in old wood. So that's his trousers for this part, which obviously varies differently from the Normandy scheme where they've got their field grey trousers. But I'm also going to be painting his helmet in this colour as well, which we'll see in just a moment. You could again paint this in field grey as well. But yeah, I've decided to go with the tropical colours, and then I'm painting his bag on his back in that colour too. Now for the brown on his Splinter pattern, I'm going with Beastie Brown. I actually got this from my good friend James Viola, which I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. Highly recommend checking him out. But yeah, Beastie Brown is a really good tone for Splinter pattern, especially if you want to go for something just a little bit lighter than your sort of generic sort of dark brown or medium brown color. It really does work really well. So great work, James. Good work finding this color. I absolutely love it. Now the key with this pattern is to make sure that you're painting nice straight lines, sharp lines as well. They can interlock with each other and leave little gaps for that green blob that needs to be put into certain areas around it. So yeah, try and get those nice sharp lines. Don't make the lines all curvy and nice looking. Give them nice sharp edges and such. Now with that Splinter pattern with the brown aspect of it done, you can then move on to uniform green, again stolen from my friend James Viola. So yeah, much love going your way, mate, for this one. You've really helped me out on this. I absolutely loved your German Fallschirmjäger tutorial as well. So this is a really good color for the uniform, the green aspects of this camouflage pattern, and you're just putting in these nice little sharp boxes in the corners of some of those brown areas like I am now. So once you've got your sort of base Splinter pattern done, you can move on to the Luftwaffe uniform part. So in this particular case, I'm going to be painting his bread bag in this colour. And I'm also going to paint the spare magazines that are around his neck. I'm going to be painting them in the exact same colour as well. You can obviously paint these in a Splinter pattern too. These were quite common in Splinter pattern, as well as your sort of field grey, but I've also seen these in that Luftwaffe blue too. Then for the wooden areas of his FG42, I'm going to be painting those in flat earth. Obviously, if you had any other wooden areas too, like a grenade or a shovel or whatnot, I'll be painting them in this colour as well. I'm giving it a nice good coating using my size 1 brush. This is Ionic brush. It's an absolutely fantastic brush and would really recommend grabbing one if you can. Now I'm moving on to black grey for those metal areas. So I actually think this FG42 has actually got quite a bit of detail on it, so I'm pretty impressed with it, to be honest. But it's typical with the Italeri or old ESCI kits. They're just absolutely great. Now I'm also using this colour to paint the webbing. So in this particular case, he's only got a belt that I really need to worry about, and the top of his canteen. The rest of it is pretty much the same. Then for the strap for this like bag that's going across him, I'm going to be using khaki. I don't actually know what this is meant to be because it's not a gas mask canister. I'm not actually sure what it's meant to be. So I'm going to paint the straps in khaki and just go with that. Now for the canteen, I'm going to be painting that in English uniform, but obviously leaving the strap and the plastic or metal part of the cup in that black grey colour as well. And then I'm going to be painting his boots in black, because I'm going to be dry brushing these boots later on with a sort of earthy colour. So yeah, just paint them black. That's all you need to do at this stage. And then finally his chin strap, I'm going to be painting that in German Camo medium brown. And then there we go. So he's about ready. So we're going to give him a nice wash of Null Oil and Lathmere Medium from Warhammer. This wash, ordinarily, if you didn't add in the Lathmere Medium, would be very dark. So if you're thinning it down like I am, you're going to get a really nice light black wash over the top. Just make sure it doesn't pull on those flat surfaces and you don't have too much going in those recesses. You can just use a nice dry brush just to clean it up. Now it's all about going over the same colours again for the splinter pattern. So I'm using that light mud again, and you can see I'm just adding in some of that lighter colour now in areas that are flat, and then areas that have a bit of a crease in that, I'm leaving that original washed base colour in there. And this arm is a really good example of that, just to give those creases a little bit of depth to them by leaving that original washed base colour in there. Now following the same principle, we're going back to Beastie Brown again, and I'm doing that on the brown pattern. And again, this is a really good opportunity to tidy up any errors that you might have made, or add in an extra line that you think might need to be added in. Especially at this scale, you won't really notice it. The higher scale you go, you start noticing those sorts of little amendments. And finally, uniform green. But you can already see that this is starting to pop. Now, I'm not going to put rain marks on this particular splinter jacket, only because in 20mm or 172 scale, it's really hard to get to look right. I have done it before in other videos and some of my earlier ones, but I just think for this, it just makes it look a bit too messy. So yeah, I'm not going to do that. Now for those tropical parts of the uniform, I'm going to be using old wood and Iraqi sand to give me that sort of Mediterranean look to them that they go for, with that like sandy coloured trousers. So I'm going to be painting the trousers in this colour and just leaving that original washed base coat in the recesses. And then I'm going to give the helmet a go. But a really important thing to do with the helmet is just to water your paint down a little bit, so it's not too dry. Then for Luftwaffe uniform, I'm going to go with that plus white grey at a 2:1 ratio, and you can see I'm just adding in little details on each of those sort of rectangular boxes there, and that's just going to make them pop, and then picking out all those nice details on that bread bag, which there are plenty of them to pick from. And then for the wooden areas, I'm going to be using flat earth and orange brown at a 1:1 ratio. Now if you're an old timer on the channel, this is pretty much my go-to all the time. I probably should start changing it up a little bit. It's probably getting boring for you guys, but it's a recipe that just works so bloody well. And if you give it a go, if you yet to give it a go, because honestly, you will absolutely love it. Now I'm going to give the final bit of wood a go of orange brown. Now you can see that I'm just scratching on horizontal lines. That's to simulate wood grains. Again, might be a bit crazy at this scale, but honestly it's something that I think works really, really well. So give it a crack and let me know in the comment section if you agree with me. Now for the webbing, I'm going to go over that belt with black grey. You can also give the canteen and the canteen strap a coating of this as well. There's nothing fancy to this. I'm literally just repainting it all on again, but I'm not going to give it another highlight. But with that black grey, I'm going to use black grey and basalt grey at a 1:1 ratio, and I'm just going to pick out all those lovely bits of detail on this FG42. But as that is already quite dark, I want to lighten it up a little bit. So I'm going to use basalt grey, and I'm going to do the exact same thing as what I did before, but this time reduce the amount of paint that I'm putting on and literally focus on those raised areas, those sharp little objects that are all the details that the eye is going to be drawn to. Now for that strap that I painted in khaki, I'm going to use khaki and stone grey at a 1:1 ratio, and that's just going to give that strap a bit more depth, and it's not going to blend in so well with the splinter pattern. And then for that canteen, I'm going to use English uniform and khaki grey at a 1:1 ratio. Now for a bit of fun, you can add the German eagle. Just use a bit of white grey, do a bit of a curved line one way, a bit of a curved line the other way, like mirrored, and then just do a little dot in the middle. And then for the chin strap, I'm going to use German camo medium brown and orange brown at a 2:1 ratio. Don't want it to be too orange, even though it's a brown leather. And then there we go. This is what it looks like. I think it's come out absolutely great. The scheme looks awesome as well. So I haven't actually covered the flesh painting aspect of this tutorial, only because the footage came out terribly. So if you want to see any of those sorts of videos, pretty much every most recent 1/72 scale tutorial covers that. So if you just watch any of my old ones, skip to the very end, you'll see exactly how I paint flesh. But yeah, very keen to know in the comment section how you found this video, if you're going to be implementing the sort of paints I've used. Do you disagree with me in terms of the rain marks? I know there's going to be very skilled painters out there that can do it. I just don't think it works too well in 20mm, especially if you're not an amazing painter. But yeah, very keen to know your thoughts on it. Now a huge thank you goes out to my aces and my new field marshal, so that's Patrick, and then those aces: Oscar, James, Panzer Jim, Lack of Foresight Gaming, Mike, Mikey, Eric, Rothgar, Ian, Adam, Rob and Alan. You guys are all champions. Thank you so much. Alright guys, don't forget to let me know in the comment section how you found this, but until then I will catch you at the next one.